I always had it in my mind that it was a good idea to make the whole awards be that the community gets to kind of vote on what is good or bad about the photo modes. Then people from the industry and from photography circles judge the art. Why have I done this?
You basically have two completely different awards
at the same time.
Every year you complain about.
I do complain, and actually this year has been worse than ever. It has.
2 weeks.
Is it? Can you remember how to do this?
No. Who are you? Why are you on my office?
It feels like something new again.
So everything will go wrong this week.
Look at this.
Shout out to Flip.
Yeah. For the t-shirt.
For the t-shirt. the VP, the art versus the artist, 2023. He used the t-shirt on that selfie, and I was so glad to see the t-shirt in the wild.
Yeah, that was quite good. He'd showed a picture of it before, but not him wearing it.
Yeah, just the t-shirt.
Yeah.
So, 2 weeks. We struggled to find a topic in these two weeks, because first was the GTA reveal, and we were like, should we?
Yeah, I think that'll come again. That'll have its own time, probably, won't it? When that game doesn't come out until 2025, so it's not urgent. That it would have worked, I guess, for of the moment stuff, but there's nothing to show about it. It will have some sort of photo thing, won't it?
If according to the previous releases, they never released a photo mode at launch.
Yeah.
So I'm curious for that, because Red Dead Redemption didn't get a photo mode until a year and a half after release. When it got released on PC, it got patched to the consoles. So I'm curious to see that. Anyway, and then I gave the suggestion, let's do an episode on the Game Awards. But
on the Game Awards, yeah. You mean the Celebrity Cameo Awards?
Yeah.
The advertisement award.
It was bad, but worse for VP. I nothing.
Well, okay, there's never going to be anything in the awards as such, but in terms of any of the reveals and announcements, maybe.
Yeah, but you don't get a new Assassin's Creed, a new Sony game. You got the DLC for Ragnarok, but no changes to the photo mode.
No, the patch notes came out today as well, and it's literally just add support for the DLC and fix a couple of bugs.
The only new game that has a photo mode probably is Hellblade. Other than that,
one that's coming.
Yeah.
What do you mean that was shown then?
Yeah. They showed the game, and I expect that game to have a photo mode.
Of course, yeah.
And it's the only one that I saw that I was like, yeah, cool, and nothing else.
Yeah. Well, it's fine. I wasn't expecting to have any real insights from that, and to be honest, I wasn't expecting it to be that as much revealed and much sort of showcasey stuff as there was. But I guess that's the type of show they want to put on. So yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway, but you are putting up a type of awards show.
I have my own awards. I don't know if there's a show yet. I'm gonna say no.
You should do one.
I know. Well, that's something that is a possibility. I can't say that is or isn't going to happen, because it's the kind of thing that I've floated the idea with some of the judges, for example. But it's especially with the timing. It's going to end up, early New Year and things. It'd just be a bit difficult. But I don't know. It's the kind of thing I would like to expand into. Anyway, we're talking about the VP Award, the Virtual Photography Awards, and they, by the time this goes out, are now live, so you can see all the information. But as of today, it's not live, so You don't know everything yet, apart from the bits
No,
I've shown.
I don't know everything, and I'm not participating either because
Are you not?
it would be automatic win.
Yeah. I think you've said that before.
Yeah, I did.
Well, anyway, Photomode Unplugged is one of the prize givers, so he probably should be excluded just on that.
Yeah, I always exclude myself, but we are not talking about that side of the P awards.
Okay, not the photography side.
This is going well.
That as well, yeah. Not the photography side, because there are two totally opposing halves of this. I always had it in my mind that it was a good idea to make the whole awards be that the community gets to kind of vote on what is good or bad about the photo modes in the industry, in the games, and then people from the industry and from photography circles get to judge the artists the other way around. So it's kind of both sides against each other. But it does give me this perpetual problem of having to sort of juggle two completely different
Yeah,
systems
you basically have two completely different awards
at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I keep doing it. I think, well, why have I done this?
In theory, it's great, and I love to see the way it ends up being. I hate the amount of work you have every year. Every year, you complain about.
I do complain, and actually, this year has been worse than ever. It has. I feel like I've done more over, not even because it's been late and rushed. I've tried to get on everything early. But okay, one big reveal, if you want. I've had no support from PlayStation this year.
No.
Not because they've just said, right, we're done. I just simply haven't had the conversation with them. Tried and just got nowhere. So I've not had them, which means that normally they do part of the work sourcing judges. So that hasn't been the case. So the judging panel is out now. The judging panel has just been reviewed as we record this.
Great judging panel, by the way.
Good. I'm glad you think so. It's hard while you're doing it. You're thinking, I'm really pleased with this. I'm so thrilled that such a body's on it, and it's great to have them in the balance. I always try and work on the balance of everything. I want sort of technical devs and creatives and community aspect and real world and in-game photography. I mean, to cover all of those, and obviously different demographics for all the people, and trying to, it's like an impossible jigsaw of trying to think, who the hell, how do I get this? And when people accept.
The one that surprised me the most was the art director, the art person for Atomic Art.
Mundfish, studio co-founder. Is the studio?
I was really like, whoa.
Artem Galeev. So he's studio co-founder and art director. And I was blown away by that as a suggestion. That was via talking to them at the PR level. And then they went, oh yeah, our art director would be really good for this. We'll try and get him involved. And only later on did I discover, when they sent me the the stuff for the bio, I was like, co-founder as well. So
that's a great catch. Yeah.
But I'm just thankful that there's this many people. It's quite a big panel this year. There's 14, but there's this many people willing to take part, to give their time and contribute to it. And they could easily just go, oh yeah, that's brilliant, we'll give it to our little new intern or something, a junior. But you can see from the panel, there's a whole range of different levels of experience in the industry, and
it's unpaid work, and you have like the co-founder of a studio, the UI and UX designer of senior designer from Insomniac. Like, you have big names that are willing to do this for free. It's amazing.
I feel less guilty about the studio reps because I think their time is assignable within.
Okay.
It's the freelance people as well that I feel mostly obliged to. And I have again been trying to get some source of funding so I can pay the judges, and it just doesn't come about. But
that's the year that I'm going to be on the judging panel. By the way, every year I'm asked, and every year I say no because it's not paid. What's the fee? He doesn't have the money to pay me.
Yeah, that's the difference between nice.
Never been asked.
No, well, that's as a general rule, I stay away from, friendly relationships and things like that because, you don't want anyone to go, it's just because of this or he's just going to pick that. And,
co-host of the only podcast about virtual photography.
Is it still the only one? I think it is, yeah.
It probably is.
Not telling us something.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm very, very thankful to each and every one of the judges because it's time that they've got to commit to it. But the enthusiasm you get from it as well, you see, as I posted it today, you see them interacting with it and resharing it. Antonella, for example, from 505, saying, I'm honoured to be part of this. Yeah. And I got the same from Ember Lab. I'm kind of blown away by that sort of response.
I don't know. I never been part of the judges again. But do you have like a Twitter conversation with all of them? Do they interact with each other or just?
So previously, I've never managed to do that because a large proportion of the judging had been provided by Sony, and I was always in a remote conversation with them. I had to feed the stuff on to PlayStation UK, who then distributed it to them, and then it came back. So it was not quite direct, I would like to. It hasn't happened yet. It's been very much, I'm dealing with everybody, and because it's only really just finalised the group. But yeah, I would like to get a bit of a group conversation going so that they've got some opinions to share and get everyone on the same page a little bit, but I don't know.
That's cool. That's really cool. Like your own private GDC, gamers, game developers conference. Yeah, that's cool. Like having them talk about like, oh, my photo mode is like this and like that, and you're just like there taking notes.
So interestingly, one of the so Hexworks, there's the rep from Hexworks is on there, and they asked
season.
Sorry,
season.
Hexworks is Lords of the Fallen. It's CI Games / Hexworks. But they
don't let him see the Atomic Heart photo mode because they will be like,
they must know about
it's
that.
It's the same photo mode.
One of the questions I got from them was, is it clear that this panel has got nothing to do with the photo mode awards, the industry awards? So they don't want to be seen that, like, if their game wins, oh, you only won because you're on the panel. And I've never had that question before, actually. So that was like, oh, yeah, no, don't worry. Like, it is all totally separate, and the website tells you all of this, and there's a totally separate voting form for all of that. At which point they were like, okay, that's great. But it's a fair consideration that they thought, we don't want to be seen like we're influencing.
We want the award.
They want the award. But,
they don't care about judging. They want the award. Anyway, the other side, the industry side.
Yeah.
How do you pick the games? I know that.
I make a list, first of all. I tried to do it all year this time because it's harder at the end of the year to go back and go, what games have released with photo modes and things. So every time something's come out, I've been adding to my list. And then it's just a matter of trying to pick the ones that are best suited to the categories. And, like, you might think it's quite easy, but it definitely is a lot harder than you think. So because I might not be familiar with all the photo modes, I also reach out to some of the community, the prominent communities on the community panel to give me some of their suggestions. I did a couple of public posts as well, just saying, who do you want, on Twitter, saying, who do you want to see? And that, I only need, if I get one good suggestion out of that I hadn't thought of, then it was a success. Because
I know the one.
Go on.
No, I know the one good suggestion that caught you off guard, and we will talk about it.
Okay. But, I fully expect most people will say the obvious ones. They'll say Spider-Man, Lord of the Fallen, Jedi Survivor, etc. But it's the one that I didn't know about that is the one I really enjoy hearing. But yeah, then it's kind of narrowing down, and not everybody will agree with the nominees. That's fine. Like I can't please everybody's opinion. That's fair enough, but just vote for the one you think is best suited to it, I guess.
Do you want to go over them?
Go on then.
I will cast my vote.
That might be swaying. No, I've no voting type opinions now. You can give thoughts.
Can I give my thoughts?
You can give your
or my votes.
Thoughts, not votes, I think.
Okay. I will just simply say the strongest one of this category for me. By the time this video goes live, I will already voted.
Yes, but your votes are not publicly visible. So you might have a great influence over this. You might be...
Oh, yeah.
You see?
Last year we didn't do it like that. We cast our votes on the episode.
Did we?
We did.
Oh, well, whatever. Okay. To be honest...
let's not do it, because that's a great point.
Okay. Another thing that I put in place, and this is, again, what some of the VP community panel is there for, I do a weighted vote. So there was a time when it was 100% public vote, and I could clearly see that there's so much influence from a big studio saying, come and vote for us. And they're very hard to defeat at that point,
Yeah.
So you've got a small indie up against, a massive title, like say one of the PlayStation studios, and if they ask for votes, they're going to get them. So now it's a weighted vote, 50-50 weight between the public vote, which is obviously all still the same, but then it's weighted against the more considered opinions of the community panels. And last year it made a difference. It did genuinely bring the results much, much closer, and it did change the results of a couple of them.
Did you change the percentage this year? You don't have to tell the percentage, but did you change it?
I think I did it 50-50. It's either 50-50 or 60-40. I can't remember. I've got a spreadsheet. You might be surprised to hear. I haven't even opened that yet. That's basically exactly as it was last year. I don't need to work on that yet because it works. But I won't change it to manipulate the results. You change it as to what works as a fair.
No, I'm only asking this because the Game Awards does the same thing, where there is a judging panel and the community votes, and the community votes used to be 5%.
5.
So it was really low, and now they turned it up to 10%, I think.
Right.
So it's still really low. The judging panel always has the majority voting, but other than the People's Choice Award, that one is always 100%. But because of those adjustments that they made, I was like, maybe he saw something last year. Because last year it was the first time that you did it like that, right?
It was, and it worked well. It worked perfectly, exactly as I expected. I suppose it depends on how many votes you're receiving as to and how you convert those into a kind of final score. But yeah, currently it's going to be the same.
Okay, first category.
So first category, kind of this will be the order that I announce the winners. So best lighting, and they're kind of in the order of the colours. If anybody's not noticed, a nice little colour scheme that goes across them. So it's a spectrum of colours, yeah. So,
Oh, didn't notice that.
see, yeah,
I
best
never
lighting.
saw them side by side, but okay. So, Best Lighting. And the nominees are Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, Everspace 2. Now is the time where you are showing bits of the photo mode and the
I'm
lighting.
not doing that. I might just put the actual list of nominees on.
Yeah, just put Spider-Man 2, Jedi Survivor, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, The Crew, Motorfest, and Pharaoh. Let's start by this one.
Total Warfare. Or yeah.
What?
It's a real time strategy game with full on photo mode, and it's got not only time of day, but it's got custom skyboxes. You can move the skybox around, change the position of the sun, the clouds. It's incredible. I haven't got it yet, but it's one of those like, right, I thought now, once I get the awards out of the way in the new year, I'm going to be going after that. It's really impressive. Yeah, they've done a little trailer for it. So if anyone's not familiar, search Total Warfare or Photo Mode on YouTube, and they've done a demo trailer of it, and it's really impressive.
Really cool.
Yeah,
every game should do a photo mode trailer, by the way.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they give a perfect example as well, because there's like an army marching in the perfect sunshine, and he went, but we can change this, and then they make it really dark and gloomy, and then you've got low moonlight cast across, and it's just an entirely different, and then you put rain on, and completely different feel all of a sudden. So yeah, in terms of light manipulation, that's as good as it gets without studio lighting.
That's really cool. Spider-Man 2 is the same as the remake and Ratchet and Clank, the remaster and Ratchet and Clank.
In terms of the lighting, well, it's the remaster didn't have the extra lighting camera that Ratchet and Clank did. So this is the same as Ratchet's lighting mode. But whether it's the same or not, it's still up there as the best.
A great one.
Yeah. There's nothing else
it's really a great one
that surpassed it as a studio lighting mode.
Jedi Survivor introduced the save feature, and then you go and move the camera around your character and place the different lights, and then you can press the square button and go back to the place that you saved. I love that feature.
I think it's such a wonderful usability feature. Yeah.
I think I prefer that way to do things to the way that Spider-Man does.
It depends on at which stage. It's nice and really sort of intuitive to go and place a light, but if you then want to just tweak the position of a light, then you've got to go, because you can't snap back to where it was placed. So if you just wanted to literally move it slightly in Spider-Man, you can, because you can physically see the light and you can just edge it around.
Yeah,
and you can see the action, the effect on the character. But in Star Wars, you've got to go away from the character to place the light, then come back and see if you got it right, and I go, oh, that still wasn't quite right. So it goes both ways.
Before 2.0, Cyberpunk, the tools let you save the position of the light, and you could load back to that position.
Oh, right,
So you basically had like as many saved positions as you want, and you could pick which one you would snap back to and change the light just a little. And that was like the perfect combination. I wish every game. But I'm curious, so the Crew Motorfest is time of day control, right?
It's got full time of day control, which is a little bit weird because it's like periods of the day and then you get hourly adjustments within that. But ultimately, it does still have a full range of time of day. Everspace is, because the description for the category is not just adjustable lighting; it's the best available lighting, whether through studio lights or time of day or just pure in-game light. And the lighting and effects in Everspace are so crisp.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Last year it was Callisto Protocol that won.
God, you're going to ask me about winners. I'm on this year now.
It was nominated.
It was definitely nominated. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember what.
Because the lighting on that
Best lighting, no, it was
amazing.
The Last of Us Part 1 won Best Lighting.
Yeah, controllable lighting. But still, last year, one of the nominees was exactly because the lighting in the game was so
absolutely. Good. That's your first go-to thing for lighting.
Yeah.
If you're playing a really flat game, you're not going to see many opportunities. Brilliant if you've got studio lights to come and make up for it. But when the in-game lighting is so dramatic, like games like Callisto and Everspace, and it's sort of you're there exploring the opportunities that exist instead of having to manufacture them. So that's like what's the difference between studio photography and normal real-world outdoor photography? You don't take studio lights out with you, but you go out when the sun is good.
Don't you?
Well, no, I don't.
But yeah, same for Cyberpunk, right? The game's lighting is so good that is enough to get a nomination. Exactly. So, second
community
category,
support.
Community support. 505 games.
You might not know from you've only got the pictures.
I only got the pitch.
So it's Crow Team, as in from
Atomic Heart.
No, Crow Team is the Talos Principle.
Oh, I should know that one.
You should. So
yeah,
have you had any interactions with Crow Team from the Talos Principle?
I got a free game from them.
But that was probably because you got it via Devolver.
Yeah.
So this is the difficult part with this is
it's the publishing versus the studio.
So like I was a little bit unsure as to what to put on as the who do I give as the actual suggestion here, But yeah, the next one is, and I don't actually know how to pronounce this, the little penguin.
Kyoken?
It is Kyoken, yeah. And it's got a capital N as well on the end, doesn't it? I'm not sure.
Kyoken Interactive?
It's Kyoken Interactive.
Kyoken?
They do Deliver Us Mars. I think they've just had a contest recently. They've done lots of interactions. So this community support, the contest is not only about who does a few retweets.
More shares. Yeah.
That's definitely part of it. So who actually interacts with the artwork that people produce, and Guerrilla is the next nominee. Guerrilla do that incessantly, for such a long time. And you might think, God, Guerrilla have been nominated every time. They have, because they still do it.
Great, They have a great community team. They keep pushing what a community team should be forward. Like they have contests, they have giveaways, they have showcases. Every single month they have the showcase. Then they have the features. They retweet your content. They comment on your content, and it's not only on Twitter. They do that on Instagram too. It's great. Yeah,
it is impressive, and like I said, to keep it up for such a long time consistently deserves a mention. Insomniac similarly, actually, they'd followed the same sort of model, haven't they, with theirs for Spider-Man and for Ratchet. And then the last one is another one that could be Lords of the Fallen. The game account is the one that all of the stuff goes through, but it could easily be CI Games or Hexworks. If you think who's responsible for it, but it's the Lords of the Fallen game account, and not entirely because of this, but they've done something that I like to see, things that try new ideas and push the support into new ventures, and they did that Times Square activation, which is really great. It's a bit clever on their part, because let's be honest, it's a big advert.
I'm surprised more studios, publishers, whatever, don't do that.
Yeah.
They don't go to the community and say, okay, because that person won. And I bet you that they will do content for the Lords of the Fallen for many, many, many years. Like, it's their special game for sure.
I don't know whether there's going to be any sort of darling effect where they then get the chance to do more work with them. I don't know about that.
No, I'm saying like what I did with Santa Monica. The reason why I kept going back to God of War is because it was the first studio to give me a chance. So,
I see what you mean. Like, the photography will stick with the game.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant that the studio and the publisher will
No.
Which
I'm.
They may. You never know.
Yeah, that would also be cool. Yeah, but all of these are accounts that I see popping over and over again on my social sharing the content from their games.
Yeah.
Captured by the community. So yeah, every single one was a great shout.
There's definitely others as well. You could definitely have included others. But I tried to keep it down. I had 7 per category last year, and I was already a bit like, I think this is too heavy. And not least because the graphics you've got to make for it end up looking quite cluttered. So I was like, I'm going to try and keep it to 6. But, on another day, you could certainly make a case for some others to be there, but you've got to try and take opinions on board and put together what seems most deserving.
Best user experience.
So this one's new.
Is going to be controversial.
Oh, really?
So,
do you want me to read you the description? Should I go on? You carry on. I'll just source the description and.
Best user experience. The nominees are Assassin's Creed Mirage, Hi-Fi Rush, Starfield, really? Star Wars Jedi Survivor, The Invincible, and The Talos Principle. I know this is a new category, but I am honestly really surprised by the nominees.
Okay. Who would you nominate instead?
That's a great question. I this year is the year that I played the least amount of new games using the photo mode. I use more camera tools. It's also the year that I grew the least in social media, so that that might be connected. But I played the Talos Principle, and the fact that it has so many poses, so many expressions, so many of that, it's great, but it's hard to navigate. You have to admit, like, you have to keep on pressing 99 times to see them all.
Okay, that's a fair point. But if you take the other side of what you said, it's for ones who do enjoy having, preset poses. There's such a range, and there's quite a lot of sort of interesting ones that you can build a shot around. There's some that are very novelty, like the one sat playing a guitar. You're not going to use that very often, but that was actually the first one I did use. I was like, oh, this is interesting. So I sat him next to a tree, put the guitar, and narrowed.
The first one was the sitting down on a bench.
It puts an actual bench there. It's things like that. Yeah. The posing alone is very well thought out, and it's got character positioning and rotation, and vertical
control over the eyes, control over the face. Yeah, it's really good. The only flaw that I see is it's so in depth that it has too many options, and to navigate them all, I didn't see the Invincible's photo.
Well, the Invincible's kind of the opposite. That's one of the really clean. Because one thing that is a problem at the minute is that more and more photo modes are getting a lot of features, and the UIs are getting bigger and more intrusive, and you can't hide them while you're making the adjustments. So they're actually obscuring the view of the result that they're producing. And the Invincible is one of those nice, quite minimalist, non-invasive user interfaces. And that it was quite refreshing to see. So sorry, I didn't read the description out, did I? It was best user experience. So this replaces most anticipated. I've got rid of most anticipated.
That was smart, yeah.
So anyway, the game that provides the best user experience for in-game photographers, including the Photomode UI, general workflow, that's key, and usability of the available tools and options. So it's not that's the best photo mode. That's a nice photo mode to use. That doesn't annoy me while I'm using it.
Yeah.
So it's the usability factor more so than
Would you say that word, that word annoying is the reason why Spider-Man 2 isn't here?
Or clunky is another word I actually use for Spider-Man. There's a couple of examples with it. Is the Spider-Man photo mode is brilliant. In terms of its technology, it's right up there. But in terms of the workflow, I find myself having to go back and forward through different sections. And sometimes I'm pressing square to do that. Sometimes I'm pressing L1, R1 on the tabs to do the subsections. And then I try to move a tab, but I press square instead. And
then you are inside the light, but you press square and you change the menu, but exactly. you really wanted to press circle to simply go back. Yeah, I know the pain. Yeah. I know the pain.
And same with the focus. I know you have enjoyed using that focus before, but the first one you come to, you adjust it and it doesn't do anything because you've got to adjust the one below it. Yeah. And that's a bad workflow. If I've got to go past something to come back, bad workflow. So that's why Spider-Man's not in there.
We already covered the Jedi for the most part.
Yeah.
I5 Rush is a game that you didn't play, really. Did you?
No, but we did it on here.
Yeah.
And
this one is, I'm sorry, I will have to cast my vote. It's a brilliant user experience. I had so much fun photographing this game.
The poses are fantastic, but then there's all of those quite novel features of the different filters for the character versus the background. Because I know you were like, I can do black backgrounds. It's making it easy to do stuff. Yeah,
you can bring characters from every single NPC. You can bring it. You can bring the frames are actually frames that you use because the game is cel shaded, so they flow really well with the game. The workflow is really simple to understand. You are controlling this, you are controlling that, the name of every section. It's really good. But Starfield, you had so many issues with the focus.
Okay,
and you nominated Starfield.
The focus is its downfall, and I don't expect it to win. It might do. I don't expect it to win. The focus system is its main flaw, but if you take it as a whole, and again thinking workflow, the way it's laid out is actually very good. The camera range is huge, and you've got both the choice between free and orbit cameras. And if you switch between one and the other, it doesn't override it. If you switch to orbit camera, you get to move the orbit camera. You switch back, and it goes to where the free camera was. That's good. That's just good usability. The UI is not too intrusive, just the actual the method of working through the tabs. It's right. It's all in good order. Its downside, you're right, is the focus system is just a little bit obscure, but once you know how to do it, I had just a process for that.
Once it clicks,
and then it works. So I think it's dead easy to use, actually. And same with Assassin's Creed. It's the same one that's been around for so long, so there's no innovation there. But you've got that focus placement thing. Fantastic. Anyway,
so this is the one most innovative. So we have Atelier Marie
remake. I'll be surprised if anybody knows it, but
I know it because I used to play a lot of these games on the PSP.
oh,
A
PSP, yeah,
lot
okay.
on the PSP. I used to be glued to this and the spin-offs. I didn't know there was one with a photo mode though.
There is.
And the photo mode is really cool because I read the comment that suggested this.
So this is the one that you were saying that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. I had no idea about this, and I went and I saw the suggestion. I think it was from Rob Pitt who suggested it, and I thought, that sounds really interesting. It was something about custom dioramas, whatever. So I went and researched it. I was like, holy shit! Like, you've got a sort of a cartoony scene. And you can place furniture, you can pick the background, the floor. You can literally build an entire scene from scratch, place the characters, pose the characters. I was like, that's spectacular.
Yeah. It's not the first time that I see it. Like on Kingdom Hearts 3, the DLC introduced a mode that you could do exactly, like put everything. But it's the first time that I see it so well because I went and researched because this is like my teenage years with the photo mode. So I might pick this up. And the workflow, everything seems to be really improved over what it was introduced on Kingdom Hearts 3. So Gran Turismo it's a delight, right?
No, because that's the most recent thing about changing the shutter speed in race photos. This was specifically for because you've only seen the picture. The description tells you why it's nominated as well. So it's because of the drift photography update. So Gran Turismo, Polyphony have constantly innovated. Right back to GT4, the first ever photo mode, really. But they're always innovating, and they added this. So the game isn't out this year, and we'll be clear on that. But the update to it was this year, so that's what's qualifying it here. In Inscapes, they added a drift mode where you could set the motion and actually define a curve for the car's movement, and then alter the wheels accordingly. And it's just that level of control over the car's motion from a car that isn't actually moving. I've not seen anything else do that. When it comes to movement, to generating movement, it's not just, I can place a car and make it look like it's at an angle. It's giving it a motion
It's giving
path.
movement,
So it's all about that.
Hi-Fi Rush, we just talked about it.
Yeah, for those reasons.
I want to save this one for last. The Crew Motorfest.
Okay, so it's because it's got, and I went from the Crew into WRC, and both of them use the game replay, to jump to the photo mode. But what the Crew does is, while in the photo mode, it lets you fast forward and rewind the action. So in WRC, I have to use the photo mode, not quite the right moment, exit, go back to the replay, rewind, now there, try that. But in the Crew, I can stay in the photo mode, I can rewind. If I'm doing a donut, I can rewind the car through the donuts, I can go back forward, the smoke regenerates from the tyres, all in the photo mode. Now, you will rightly say that the Crew 2 already allowed you to do that. But that predates the awards, and it quite simply deserves recognition. And the fact that it's out this year is why it's in there,
I agree. Viewfinder.
Never
heard of this.
Have you not? You must have seen it. It's a little sort of 3D platformy puzzler thing. And you have a camera, like an instant camera, and you take a picture. So you can take a picture of a door and then go to a wall, and you hold up the picture of the door, and it puts a door in that wall. Or you can have a picture of a bridge and put it down, and it becomes 3D geometry. It turns photographs into 3D geometry.
Whoa.
It's amazing. It's so good. Yes.
This is cool.
And so that's a game.
This is another game that uses photography as a mechanic.
As a game mechanic, yeah.
Yeah, we are seeing more and more of those. Yeah, that's nice.
Possibly the most ingenious one so far.
Yeah. So, the one that I saw more buzz online was the innovation of Lords of the Fallen.
Yep.
Let's talk about it.
Should we talk about it? So it's basically, it is the same photo mode as the Talos Principle, as Deliverers Mars, and as Atomic Heart, but they've built upon it in the same way that Talos has added all those character options. Lords of the Fallen has got something called 3D photo. Now, from the description, you think, well, what does that mean? Is it going to do like like those red and blue glasses or something? But no, essentially, you just you enter the photo mode and you press a button. I can't actually remember which button it is, if it's the right stick or something. And it saves that moment to your hard drive, and you can exit photo mode, you can turn the game off, whatever. You can come back later, enter your 3D photos that are saved, and go right back to that moment in the photo mode and move around. You can still move the camera around. So it's preserved the whole scene.
Yeah.
Ready to go back to. And
that's really cool.
It works so well because it's a punishing, difficult, combat mechanics. And there's no shortcut to get into the photo mode. You've got to... Well, you can't even pause, can you? Because it's a Souls-like.
By the way, have you read that Final Fantasy 16 added a shortcut for the photo mode?
No.
And it's the worst shortcut.
Go on, what is it?
So basically, you have to do this with two fingers. Yeah, you have to press with 2 fingers on the touchpad. 2 fingers on the touchpad.
Wow. I wouldn't be using the shortcut.
That's the most innovative thing. How to ruin a shortcut.
I mean, it's still better than No Man's Sky, but...
yeah. But to call it a shortcut.
Well, it's only one press, technically. Yeah. But yeah, the Lords of the Fallen doesn't have one. But if you're in combat and you do get into photo mode, you can just... Because I found this, if you just see a moment you think, that's got potential, save the 3D photo, carry on with the fight. It doesn't matter. It's like save points for the photo mode. Really you don't want to lose a boss fight sometimes you can never come back to. In this, you don't even need to keep a save to replay the boss. You can just keep the photo and rework it. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Best subject. I don't have the text here.
I can give you the text. So best subject is the best character or content that has provided the most compelling photographic subject of the year.
So are ACs for Armored
Yeah,
Core?
the ACs.
I don't have the text of the character that is nominated. The twins from Atomic Heart.
The twins is right, yeah.
Lae'zel from Baldur's Gate.
Yes.
Clive from Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah. Spider-Man. Yeah. They're both the Spider-Man. The fact that you've got both of them. And again, you could say Venom, but Venom's appearance in the game is quite minimal compared to the Spider-Man.
Have you finished the game?
Never hell finished it. I haven't got time for
that. And Cal Kestis, Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, a Jedi and a lightsaber. So, I mean... That's always of interest, isn't it?
I understand all of these, but as soon as they sent me this, my first question was, well, Baldur's Gate doesn't have a photo mode. So why is Lae'zel here?
This is the difficult... This is on the edge, isn't it, of where does the line get drawn? And so partly this came up because of the consultation with the communities, with the community panel. And, I've seen a lot of use of this character. Yes, there's no photo mode, but they're able to use third-party tools. And the fact is that it's a photographic subject that is, remember the description, compelling subject. It compels people enough to want to go and use third-party tools and to go and photograph that character. So she is a compelling subject. No. Definitely. The other side of it is that the photography awards allow entries from camera tools, not just from photo modes. So
you will eventually see many photos of her already. If you will see photos of her in one side, it would be unfair to not place her here.
To be excluded. Like, imagine if the best portrait winner is that character, but then they're not even eligible for the best subject. It's a little bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
However, I do want to be a little careful and don't want it to just be all exclusively games without a photo mode, because then that tips the balance.
Because you could argue Alan Wake.
Exactly. Yeah.
Still no photo mode, and you could place it here and trade the Cal Kestis. Just the first one. Best photo mode.
Best photo mode. I think I do not know which. The ones I love is when I don't know what the results are going to be. And in the past, there's been somewhere I thought it's definitely going to be this is win it. I'm not sure on this one.
Yeah, this one. When you sent me, I was okay. This is interesting.
Yeah.
Because I don't know the winner. I totally don't know the winner. Like, I can see the community not voting on Total War or the Talos Principle, but not the community voters. So the nominees are Hi-Fi Rush, Lords of the Fallen, Spider-Man 2, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, the Talos Principle, Total War, Pharaoh. Now, they are all great. Like, the Total War Pharaoh, I only know by your description, but it sounds great.
When you watch it afterwards, you'll support that inclusion even more. But yeah, like, you would maybe automatically think on pure popularity, Spider-Man's definitely going to be up there. Spider-Man will be up there because of popularity. But, let's just think about what we've just said for Lords of the Fallen, for example.
Yeah.
That can very easily, and that's also been popular, and it's had a lot of support in their community, so you could very easily get a lot of votes from that side as well. And who's the community panel gonna go for? I don't know.
No. This is the
Star
one
Wars Jedi Survivor is also an excellent photo mode. It's got a really good lighting system. It might suffer a little bit of the fact that it came out longer ago and Spider-Man's fresher in the memory.
The thing is, I don't see Star Wars Jedi Survivor as much as I used to see Fallen Order for some reason. Like the popularity of the game, because it's been such a great year for video games.
Because there's so much come out, yeah.
It plummeted. Like, it was peak for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then you just don't see it anymore. So it's strange. Yeah, the same with Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah. It's a great game, great photo mode. You don't see it that much on social media because there's been so many great games. The Talos Principle, it's recent. I see it. The community managers are sharing it. I never heard of Total War Pharaoh.
No, and that will certainly struggle to get the public vote, just because it's relatively unknown in virtual photography circles. But that doesn't take away from the fact that it is an outstanding set of photography tools. And there's always going to be someone who will say this isn't fair because that one won't get the exposure. Well, I can't adjust that part. There's no.
I mean, Super Mario Wonder was nominated for Best Game of the Year, and obviously it wouldn't win. Period. It wasn't the top contender, but it was there because of that, because it does something that it sets out to do so wonderfully.
That's fine. Yeah.
So if the photo mode for Total War Pharaoh is as good as you say, I can totally see just being nominated being something that, for instance, I'm going to check it out. Probably.
Yeah.
If I like what I see, I might buy it.
Mm-hmm.
It's enough to get me interested, and that's a good shout for sure. You could easily replace this with any other photo mode that isn't Starfield.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Starfield's up there as best photo mode. Well, it's not up there as best photo mode. But that doesn't take away from the fact that its workflow is good. See, this is the nuances between between categories.
Sections, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But is there anything that it stands out to you that isn't nominated that you expected to see or you think should be?
Oh, that's a nice question. I'm waiting for the most disappointing photo mode of the year as a category.
Yeah, I might venture into stuff like that when there's more to choose from. Do you know what I'd like to do is most improved, but that requires more either sequels,
more games,
or updates that add features to their photo mode. I'd love to do most improved at some point. I'm expecting people to say, why is Avatar not nominated?
It was after the cutoff.
Exactly. So I've decided that it makes sense now to just do it to the end of November. And December, any releases in December 23 will go into the 24 awards.
Well, Avatar doesn't have a 90-degree tilt, so...
It doesn't, but it's got a nice UI and it's got some magnificent environments.
Subjects. Yeah.
So,
Pandora. I have Baldur's Gate to finish. I have to play Valhalla because I'm getting free sneakers.
What?
Yeah, I'm getting free sneakers from PlayStation Portugal because Valhalla was released. They have a partnership and they are sending me a free pair of sneakers. And I have to play it and take photos of it. And many other games like Alan Wake 2. But I'm tempted to get Avatar.
Yes. I mean, I put in the review request, but I didn't follow it up very much because I just thought, honestly, I don't have time to review it right now.
Yeah.
I want it. I definitely want it. But I'll buy that when time is available.
Yeah. I get that. Anyway, when are the results
going
results
live? Won't be until January. So for both sections of this, the photography entries and the industry voting, it's open from December the 14th until December the 31st. So basically until the end of the year, UK time. So if the UK is in 2024, you've missed it. That's the easiest deadline it can be, I think. So 23:59 GMT on December 31st. That's the closing time.
Nice. Anything to add?
No. Photomode Unplugged is one of the prize giving sponsors again. We'll be providing a picture, a poster print of. So this time it's going to be of the overall winner, so to speak. And this is because one of the other prizes is, which you don't yet know, but by the time this is out, you should do, is a year's subscription to Ubisoft Plus multi-access. But I've only got one.
Ooh.
So one of the 6 category winners will become the overall winner. In addition to the rest of the prizes, the one overall winner will get the Ubisoft Plus and a print.
And the print.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. and oh, okay.
Yep.
Bye.